Hi, I'm Dan Polimino from KW Big Island and the Hawaii team. Well, today we are resuming part 2 of our series called Getting to Know Dan, right? Because as we talked about in part 1, and if you haven't seen it, go back to this YouTube channel here and look for part 1 of Getting to Know Dan. Right? We talk about the fact that people will do business with you if they know you and trust you. And I thought, well, how are they going to trust me if they don't know me? And so somebody suggested I do a series of videos telling people who I am, what I'm about, and maybe that would help people get to know me better and then call and feel comfortable doing business with us. So here we are in part 2 of this series of Getting to Know Dan. Now, when we last left you in part 1, I had just moved from my hometown of Syracuse, New York to Denver, Colorado, and I was in broadcasting, and I had just gotten the job at the all-sports radio station, The Fan, KKFN, and at the time they were on the AM dial, they were 950 The Fan, and I was the morning show host, and I was hosting a morning drive, 3 hours a morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, and I had a co-host a guy named Mark Mosier, and it was Polimino and the Moj in the morning, and we did the show for about 2.5, 3 years. And then I decided in late 2000 that my broadcasting career was over, that I was gonna hang it up. And part of that was I really wanted to settle down. When you're in broadcasting, you tend to move around a lot of different cities, a lot of different jobs. Your broadcasting contracts back then were, a year or 2 years, and sometimes the option at the end of the contract wasn't your option, and you're forced to move around a lot. And I had already done a lot of moving around in my life from my childhood with my mom, so I didn't really want to move around anymore. I really loved Denver. I was happy there, and I just didn't want to go and look for another broadcasting job someplace else. I had an offer in Dallas, and I could have gone to Dallas, I could have gone to San Francisco, but I chose to step out of the broadcasting business, and I went into the fitness business, and that kind of coincided with about the same time that I had met my wife, Jennifer. She was in the fitness business. She had a successful personal training business, and I had done a ton of personal training back in the day, putting myself through college with that, and had always been involved in physical fitness. And so we decided to team up and start a training company, and it was multifaceted. We had trainers that were going to people's homes and training people. We were supplying fitness equipment for people's homes. We were writing books. We were producing videos, and we had a syndicated newspaper column. And the way we got into the newspaper and writing business was that I had my degree in journalism from Syracuse University, as you remember from the first video. And one of our training clients was a guy named Dean Singleton. And Dean was the CEO and founder of a large media conglomerate called Media News Group. And Dean and I became friends, and he introduced me to his editor, and I interviewed and showed him my journalism background. And so they started letting me write a fitness column in the paper. And so I started writing this fitness column, and we again started getting a following and people buying our books and our videos, and we started training a lot of the rich and famous people in Denver, going to their houses and actually doing trainings. So we do that from about 2000 to about 2006, and then I kind of felt like we needed to change, we kind of needed to diversify. And by the way, one of the things I didn't tell you is that my wife, Jennifer, and I, we got married in 2000, and she was a Kona girl. She was from Kona, Hawaii. Kind of see how it all is that I end up in Kona, Hawaii here at the end of the story. We'll get to that in a minute. But we had our first child, Micah, in 2005, and we decided she was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and that I was going to have to go out and support the family on my own. And I thought we needed to diversify. I thought she could still do some training on the side, maybe. And so one of my clients, who was a very wealthy client, said, you would be terrific in real estate. He said, not only do you know all the players in Denver, you know all the rich and famous people. You've already been in their homes. And he said, and you know luxury homes, and you know what to look for. He said, you should go into real estate. So he nudges me into real estate. And so I have the astute business sense in 2007 to get into real estate and leave the fitness business behind. Of course, I did that just a few months before the worst crash in the history of real estate happened in this country. That's where I'm gonna leave you, right there, because I start my real estate career just as the crash is beginning. I I hang my license at a place called Fuller Town and Country in Denver, Colorado, and I start my real estate career. We'll pick up in part 3 about a guy that I meet named Gary Lorman, who ends up changing my life. So, hope you're enjoying this series. I don't know if you are. If you are, click the subscribe button, so you get fresh videos every week, or share this with someone, or just call me and tell me you like it, or you have questions about buying or selling, both in Denver, because I still sell in Denver, or in Hawaii. Give us a call at 808-913-0899, 808-913-0899, or thehawaiiteam.com. Aloha.